Let's focus on a couple of other names. Gurmeet Chadha, managing partner and CIO at Complete Circle, joins us on the show. Hi, Gurmeet. Good morning. You want to comment on Godfrey Phillips? The stock has been a big outperformer. Any view out there?
So Nigel, I think a developing story. I think it's not easy to just wind up everything and settle disputes. But obviously, any decision in favor of that, if both warring factions agree to an amicable solution, I think it's good for shareholders. But as I said, it's a very evolving space. It's not a simple mom and pop store. You can just wake up and chat and then straight to proceed. It's a long journey, both in terms of arbitration as well as liquidation. And these are just early days, so I think won't just keep my comments to myself right now and see how it evolves.
Gurmeet, I mean, just a follow-up on this, and these things are hard to kind of understand because there's too much going on. Let's pull up a 1 year of Godfrey Phillips. Actually, even if we look at backdated data, the stock used to be less than 2,000 rupees at the start of 2023, Godfrey. And this is just 12 months. If you pull it back even further, you'll see that from a level of about 2,000 to now nearing 5,800. That's a phenomenal move in the last couple of days. So Gurmeet, just trying to understand, I mean, basic factors at play here. Could this be the anticipation that as this settles and one or two or some of the family members exit, there'll be a new guy coming in and there'll be maybe an open offer? I don't know if that's the theory at play. Tell us what you make of it. And also, I mean, that theory aside, we have to look at business fundamentals from, investor perspective. Anybody who's looking at the rise of Godfrey Phillips, what is the advice you'd give to them?
So you said it should be. It's anticipation of maybe a better management. It's anticipation in terms of an amicable solutions coming in, and obviously we are in a bull market. We should never discount that. So obviously news gets discounted and reflected far more quickly in times like these than earlier. My sense would be not to just play just basis that things will change. I think the underlying business needs to change far more. And I think in that front, the jump in price doesn't justify such a turnaround as far as the business prospects goes.
Thanks for waiting. You want to just sort of outline your views on some of the action in the unlisted market. There is this IPO closing today, Premier Energies. I don't know if you have a view. Sold stock at 450, expected listing. I mean, the premium is indicating a listing at about 900. There is, of course, the SME bit which is going on. Any thoughts? Anything interesting out there?
No, it looks an interesting play, Prashant. I heard the management speak in various interactions, including your channel, and obviously it's a premium play. Unfortunately, we can't apply in a PMS format because the settlement of shares have to happen on the same day. So that doesn't work in a PMS format. It works for an MF and other pooled format particularly. But so we'll be looking at it post-listing, if provided the gains are more subtle and not the way we are seeing today, in the IPO market.
Gurmeet, just going back to the conversation that we were having, Reliance, I mean, the media business is one focus. You've probably heard Karan speak about it. There's the AGM as well. What would be your sort of biggest triggers? And if you buy Reliance today at 3,000, what would the expectation be, say, a year down the line? And what are the key triggers that you look at?
I think the biggest trigger the market would look at is a clear timeline of demerger and value unlocking. I think Jio IPO, I think there were rumors in the market that this will be announced during by Ambani's birthday. That did not happen. So I think AGM, obviously, the market would be keenly expecting. And as I said, a clear timeline. Any monetization in the energy business, which the Aramco deal did not really, take off. They have been spending a lot. So more updates would be welcome. The street would want to see whether there is monetization happening or it's going the Jio way where you're doing capex and it will lead to more debt and lesser free cash flows. I think there's one concern, a little bit of a concern there. And I think this merger to me is extremely positive. I think they will create a huge digital giant. I've been saying this. This is India's Netflix moment. We have a very strong entity with a great 100+ channels, 40% plus advertisement market share, and ability now to really optimize the inventory, especially the advertisement inventory, because the competitive bids will reduce. They practically own most sporting assets, which is IPL, ICC, EPL, Olympics, almost great lineup as far as the sporting inventory goes, and a lot of synergy also in content creation. So I think I'm keenly looking at it. Mind you, Netflix is $300 billion market cap. We still don't have an Indian company at 300 billion. I think digital entertainment is something which probably will evolve. We'll probably see this space evolving a lot more as we go down.
Gurmeet, I wanted your view on AU Small Finance. We have news flow that's coming in today. They'll be applying for the universal banking license in September 2024. How are you all placed on this name in particular? And among banks, what do you like?
So positive for them, Nigel, because this is a direct bearing on the cost of funds, for them. And AU, except for a little period in between, has demonstrated good return ratios as well as asset quality metrics. What we like currently is Federal Bank, still trades at 1.3, 1.2, 1.3 book. If you see last quarter, Q1, that was the only bank which grew deposits at almost 19-20%, almost 5% quarter on quarter, along with credit growth being very healthy at about 18-20%. Good part is the wholesale retail mix has changed considerably. Now the deposit rate is almost 80% retail now, which is very heartening. And to me, the biggest trigger is Mr. Manian coming as the new MD. I think people don't know Mr. Manian was instrumental in building Kotak as a very solid franchise, and it's a great leadership transfer from Mr. Srinivasan to him. So I think I'm a believer once the leader comes, a big re-rating happens. We've seen that with so many banks, including ICICI and Axis. So this is one which is right on top of our radar.
Right. Gurmeet, do you have a view on Paytm? FinMin approval has come in for investment in Paytm payment services. Many large investors have sort of bought in, but they bought in earlier at about 350, 400 levels. Stocks moved up. What's your sense?
Prashant, my worry is I think the big heavy lifting they were doing was on the short-term lending, right? And the slew of regulatory issues happening. I would want some stronger partner to come in. If that partner comes in at some point of time for a broader, let's say, re-rating of the business. Till then, there are other better, good new age businesses plays which are evolving. I think Zomato is doing brilliant with quick commerce and now ticketing business. I think even PB FinTech, there's obviously some block happening today. But look at it, 93% market share in insurance now. Just tells you how strong it has become in insurance aggregation. They have almost 40 insurance partners now. Even HDFC Ergo and ICICI Lombard has come in. They were earlier avoiding it. It tells you the indispensability of the channel. And even the credit business now, Paisabazaar is turning a bit of positive. Almost now 16% market share in customers who have a credit score. Obviously, the market is much bigger than that. So if they can really streamline that a little bit more on the credit side, I think they do well. Plus, they have a good 4,000-5,000 crore cash which they can pivot and use for different purposes. Valuations obviously are a little bit of a stretch, but the model is now set. You have a very good take rate on insurance and health, slightly lower take rate on motor insurance. And this is a good renewal business. So once you really establish it, the renewal takes care of everything. And now they're getting into, the insurance, reinsurance broking as well. So I think I like that more as a continuity currently. Paytm maybe once you have maybe some stronger hands coming in.
Okay, all right, Gurmeet, we'll leave it there. Good perspective and great chat as always. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day ahead.